Okay, we are doing World War I tanks by Bryce, Charlie, myself, and Luke. World War I was the first major war where tanks were used, but where did they start? They started like a steam tractor. Once tractors had tracks, they were used to pull wagons with artillery on them around the battlefield. This was used by the French.
The British tank was the first combat tank in war. It was also the first vehicle to be called a tank, and it was used to carry supplies. The design was so it could easily maneuver through trenches to capture enemy positions easier and just be there for support.
Alright, this is the German tank, the K. Gross Kampfwagen, which means the big battle wagon. This was the main tank that they used in World War I. It held a group of 22 men, and it had 4 77mm guns as well as 7 7.9mm machine guns. And it contributed to the majority of the kills of the Germans in World War I.
This is the Holt gas electric tank. It was the first tank to be used by the Americans. It had one large gun in the shape in the front. It had 15mm thick armor, equipped with 3 guns, 1.75mm howitzer and 2 7.26 MGs. The second was the M1917, also used by the Americans. This was a model of the French FT-17. It had a mantle for a 37mm cannon or a Browning machine gun, and it had 17mm thick armor.
The Mark 8 tank was the first tank in history to be produced an international collaborative effort between the U.S. and Great Britain. There was also delay in the production, so thousands of the orders had to be canceled. The armor was 16mm thick with 2 57mm guns, 7 7.92mm Hotchkiss machine guns, or 5 M1917 Browning machine guns.
That's the end of our presentation. Now, we're going to simulate how a tank moves over trenches and almost what it would be like to be someone that was in the trench the tank was driving over. So we need to move the desks in a line across the classroom.
Like we did for assembly line?
Like,
or stacked like
or they need to be spaced. So they need to be turned like this. Across the classroom with about 2 feet in between.
Can we run across?
Alright, so want it like this?
Yeah, just like this. Yeah.
Okay, how many?
How many? 7 or 8. Yeah.
So I mean just one line like that?
Yeah. Just one line. One line. One line. Gaps.
How many of them do you think are really gaps?
This will be the last one. Mr. Kirby, you can get the table over there. Who wants to be run over by a tank?
Hey John!
Who wants to volunteer to be part of our team?
Hey, we need some volunteers. Listen up.
I'm walking away.
Bryce, put them in the dress.
First one, second one, John, the third one. Right, John.
You want them down there? Or we...
Right, the first one.
Go ahead.
just lay down get down, just so your head is not over top. You will be hitting the head.
Okay, same thing. Tyler Sexton right there.
And
Snyder wants to help. And ladies want to be in it?
I'll do it.
Stein and Denise.
I'm not late.
Everybody's feeling the position, so I have to do it? Well, I don't have to now.
Make sure you're low, because this might be a problem.
Okay.
Okay.
your blade out.
There you go.
Okay, right now is a good time for everybody to listen to the instructions by the group that's in charge.
Okay, if you don't get your head down, you could get hit. That's not our fault. You don't keep your head down.
It's my
do I need to sign a waiver?
Yes.
Yeah. No. Go.
So again, listen to the effect.
The effect? The tanks were able to move across trenches a lot easier than infantry were, mostly because they're 20, 30 feet long, and an infantryman can't jump a trench that's 5 feet wide. So tanks were much easier to get across the battlefield.
They also had something on the back. It's usually a bundle of sticks, a very large bundle. So when they crossed over gaps, it would be a whole lot easier just to go right over instead of going down and back up. So, call it a fast scene.
What do you got on?
Oh, this is a ghillie suit. It is worn by snipers and recon troops, and it is camo as well as they also camouflaged the tanks back then so people were not able to see them. So imagine me like a tank.
Can we see that coming back one more time?
Yeah. Do we want more?
Everybody heads up.
Does
Anybody else wanna-
try?
Anybody else want a Brave getting scalped?
Scalpel. No one else
Fear
wants
is
to
taking
try?
advantage of the workout time. It's dedication.
We need someone else
I used
to
to be
try.
that way.
Hand down.
I can't stare at people.
Wait a second. Trenches were more crowded than that.
Then you pop up and shoot the guy.
And so now you get the effect of a tank.
I can't feel it.
Anything else from that group?
Very loud.
This concludes
Yeah.
5 classes for those guys.